Recorded live from random secret studios all across the Delaware Valley and even deep into the bubble.
I'm the Capo. He's the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Adam, Devin, welcome back to episode number, the Ray Gaddis edition. Oh, wait a second. We did Ray Gaddis last week, but it is episode number 28. So in honor of Ray Gaddis, his number, we decided to bring on the most important person in the Philadelphia Union. We've got your friend of mine, Brandon Comisky, the Director of Equipment Operations of your hometown Philadelphia Union, and according to Jim Curtin, the worst speller on the team. Brandon, thanks a lot for coming on.
What an introduction! I'm every time I walk into a place now, I'm gonna hire Matt to announce my presence. That was incredible. But
this
thanks
man
guys for having me on.
cannot tie his own shoes. Brandon Comisky, how you doing?
That's why God invented Velcro, Adam. So, Brandon, just give us a quick background. How did you get started with the team, and how long have you been with our Philadelphia Union?
Yeah, so May of 2012, started interning, event operations. After that, just kind of stuck around, was a game day volunteer for a year or so. Then got hired full time May of 2013. I actually interviewed with John Hackworth before the LA Galaxy game, and after the game, got offered the job. And then literally 2 days later, I'm sitting on the bench of a Major League Soccer game and running down, getting a sub. So yeah, it was a quick 48 hours there, but happy to be a part of the Philadelphia Union organization for 7-8 years now, and yeah, the rest is history, really.
So for all you kids that think it's hard to break into professional sports, just follow Brandon's,
Yeah,
48 hours and he had a real job.
From being a substitute teacher to being on the bench. So crazy turn of events there. But
that's awesome. We'll do a little bit of quick news and then we're going to get into this. So real quick, Adam, Beer the Pod, Yards, 2SP, and the Larimer. We saw each other at the Larimer last night.
We did.
I've got a 2SP with me, and of course, Yards has always been a friend of the Sons of Ben and the pod. And Brandon, we'll apologize in advance. Normally, before COVID, we'd have everybody in the studio, and one of the breweries would give us beer, so we could all have beers and tell stories. So you got a little short.
Yeah.
We shorted you a bit, but when you get back, we'll make sure.
Yeah, when we get back, I'm going to hold
beers.
you to that offer. I never forget.
By the way,
Yeah.
shout out to what did I have yesterday before the game? Kiwis and kangaroos at the Larimer. That was
Kangaroos and kiwis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am possibly dyslexic, so that's okay. But yeah, no, that is legitimately a very good. I think it was a New England IPA too. They made even that specific. I appreciated it. That was a good. It was a good post game brew after a long night of half capoing in Subaru last night.
Well, you had that pregame too. Don't lie to the people, Adam. You pre-gamed and post-gamed at the Larimer. You're like Latu.
I have a reputation to keep at the schoolyard, man. I can't reveal that I'm also getting toasted before the game. It is, it leads less credibility to my antics.
I think most people that see you up there realize that. So
That's
it's
fair.
okay. It's not a secret. But anyhow, real quick, happy birthday to Jeff Mitchell. We'd be remiss if we didn't wish Mitchell a happy birthday since he's promoting that more than he's promoted anything in his life. So happy birthday, Jeff. And speaking of self-promoters, Adam, congratulations, man. Apparently Beanbo Bread thinks you're pretty special, and they're shipping you off.
So, in the immortal words of one LeBron James, it's about damn time. No, I'm really excited. Beambo and the Union are shipping me off to hang out with Brandon and the crew on a road game of my choosing next year. And now that we have so many new contenders in MLS, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, once upon a time, MLS destinations were not like the hottest things in the universe. You're like, San Jose, Columbus, you're like some great cities in there. But now you have like Austin. All right. You got like, another LA team. So multiple options there. It's like Vancouver's cool, so I have a multitude of choices, and because I'm obviously going to bring my girlfriend because I'm not an insane person, she's also going to be helping me choose what city we end up in. So it'll be a lovely democracy
Now let
in
me
the
ask you
household.
something. So for those who haven't seen the video, Aurelian and Colin obviously gave you a little surprise there. Now was that something that was
Yeah.
you didn't know anything about that,
I
or was that
literally
all
I
for
had zero
for
idea.
the?
No, I mean, and I've been asked that twice already. I authentically had zero idea that he was showing up. Like the Beambo said basically to me, like when Marissa like did the interview with me, she was like, "Hey, so you're going to get a package." Like so, like they're handing out like packages where they give out like jerseys and like mugs and masks and all that. And I was like, yeah, cool, I mean, whatever, swag. I like swag. So they were just like, we're gonna interview you, and then you're gonna get a package. And then they're like, and then we also have a special surprise. And like, so, and I'll say this: Adam Khan and Mark Evans almost tipped their hands because they both said, "Enjoy yourself," and I was just like, about what? And they were just like, just enjoy yourself. You're gonna have. I'm like, what? I'm gonna get a jersey. First of it, like
So-
if anything, it's like cool. Like I'm happy, but and then so I kind of had a weird sense like something was up, and then yeah, Colin comes on like, oh. And yeah, to be real with you, I had no idea. I had zero idea what
Awesome.
was happening. So that was super
That
cool.
was awesome. Well, congrats, man. It couldn't happen to anybody else that deserves it more that we actually like. So
No, there's probably like hundreds of people that deserve it more than me, but I appreciate the fact that they chose me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're not the loudest person in that stadium when you travel, I'm going to be deeply, deeply upset.
I got to change my tones though. I've been going too low, too Barry White recently. I got to get like a higher thing. I haven't been able to flux it, but I start hearing myself on video, and I'm just like, nah, it's too Barry White, man. You gotta make it higher. Gotta go higher.
We'll pack a helium tank. We know an equipment person that can make that happen. Viewing parties looks like this Saturday night, 10:30. Check our media. We'll let you know, but it looks like it'll be Kildare's, the Larimer. I'm sure the stadium's going to do something, and we're checking on other people. But it looks like we got a 10:30 Saturday night party to keep this thing going on, and then Friday, Drunken Union Zoom. I haven't been on it for a week or two. Adam, I think you were.
I was on
Anything
for
good?
too long. Obviously Tales from the JT, always a pleasure. I think now we have a nice buzz, no pun intended, with kind of how like everyone's just feeling about what the team was like, especially since after the last call came after those two solid wins. So I mean, it was good. It was fun. But it's a place to, if you're still inside during the COVID, I know a lot of people are starting to stretch their legs a little bit, but if you're still inside on a Friday night, come hang out with us, I do it whilst picking up pizza. That's the move now. So I go get pizza in the middle of the call and like walk Logan Square whilst also on it. So it's fine.
You're taking a page out of Fafa's book. That's good. And Devin, the last Sons of Ben news before we get into it with our special guest. Do we have something going on with this Discord thing, or something?
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
This is the
It's
bane of
something.
my existence,
It's
by the
something.
way. I just want to throw that out there.
No, it's something. Like Adam was saying, a lot of people still stuck in home and need some interaction with one another. So
Subtle.
Discord can help you provide that, and we've doubled the amount of people in the server over the past week. So it's been a rolling train. So make sure you get on in there.
And make sure you turn off the notifications, at least the chimes, because if you don't, oh god,
It's fun
no.
here on game time. Yeah, you don't want notifications on around
literally
game time.
any
It's
time of
rough.
day. I really want to stress any time of day. Like the Union fans are, and I don't know of other Discord servers that have fans in them, and I'm not sure if they're to our level, but we are animated SOBs, figuratively and literally SOBs in this moment. Yeah, so there's a lot going on there.
Oh, without a doubt. So Brandon, there's two pieces of homework for you. You've got to get on the Union Drunken Zoom on Fridays, and I guess the
I'll
Discord,
be
so
there.
people can complain about what you do as a living.
Yeah. If you guys send me an invite, I'll be there.
You got it.
We
So,
occasionally
real
snag
quick,
one of your guys.
Yeah. What is the best part of your job?
Oh man, there's so many good parts, but probably my favorite is the constant banter with the players and the rest of the coaches. I mean, it's a tough place to work, just because everyone gets on each other and everyone just kind of makes fun of each other constantly. But at the same time, it kind of brings the group closer together. I think of all the best teams that we've had in the last couple of years, and the locker rooms have all been really, really tight and really good groups. And now the staffs all work together for 5-6 years, at a piece here and there, and they fit right in. So I would say that the best part is just hanging out with each other. And now that we're in the bubble together, it's kind of just become one big family. We don't get to see ours. So we're all we got, really. So just make the most of it and keep things light.
I will say, as an outside observer, the last 2 seasons, this is one of the most likable groups of guys, and it seems like they like each other. And as a fan, I'm like, man, I know I've said it a couple of times. I'm like, there's not a guy on that roster that I wouldn't want to go have a beer with. Where in years past, there were guys that I would rather just throw into the frickin' river than share a beer or share a meal with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just Sergio, for one, I don't know what he's saying ever, but he is one of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. He goes to sleep with one haircut, wakes up with another. He's all over the place.
I was just gonna say, did you pack clippers for him, or what happened there?
I have no idea. I that's my answer to everything that he does is I have no idea. But
I was
He went
enjoying-
from Eminem to Yul Brenner in like 24 hours.
I was gonna say Cisco.
Yo, Yul Brenner is a handsome bald man. There's not that many men that can pull off being bald, but Yul Brenner definitely did. And I'm enjoying Latino Lex Luthor we got with Sergio right now. This is fun.
Not only did he look, good bald, he looked bigger too. He was bald and bigger, like bulkier. I was like, what was he doing? Like shaved his head in steroids? I'm like, what the?
One night it was just a transformation into I think he might be Union Hulk, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Like
That
Union Hulk, we don't always understand what he says too, but he's funny. But
he keeps us occupied down here.
Oh, definitely. This is a 2-part question. What is the strangest request you've gotten? A is going to be from a player, and B from a fan. And we're directly looking at Jess Gussler and Jeff Mitchell on the fan part.
Yeah, they keep my inbox full constantly, but always happy to help them out when I can. Yeah, players, there's really, I think I've seen it all at this point, making dentist appointments for them, ordering flowers for their wives on their birthdays, Mother's Day, that kind of stuff. Answering the front door with the new technology that they have for them now and talking to the electric guy that's out front. We've touched it all in the last 8 years or so.
You're out here answering rings?
Yeah.
You're just like, hold on, someone just dropped off some Amazon packages at Bedoya's door. Hold on, let me answer it for him.
It was El Seno, but yeah, close enough. Yeah. I don't know what the story was, but he's like, here. He all of a sudden couldn't speak English for 12 minutes. So, from fans, I say Captain Arms armbands for Mr. Mitchell, and then I love the fans that are in the tunnel asking for player shorts too all the time. Like,
that's just
I don't know what you're gonna do with.
That's just Jess.
Just her, okay. So yeah, shorts are one of the stranger requests too. But I'm gonna give you guys a little tip for the game Saturday. You might want to look at Jim, his outfit, what he's wearing on his feet. That was one of the stranger requests I've gotten, but I think we're gonna pull.
He
this
didn't go
off,
Adidas.
So.
He didn't go Adidas slides with like knee-high socks, is he? Is he going full Florida retired?
I said what I said, and you guys will have to tune in. So
I'm here for the Crocs that he now has with Mickey Mouse on them. This is what
he's going to look like Mario Batali.
He's going to look good. I can guarantee you that. Nobody can pull off what he can pull off.
See, I've always had the imagining of being as a coach in different leagues, but like you have to like for baseball, you have to just wear the uniform, which I think is the weirdest one. You know, just
and have a number. Too,
yeah, and
by
have
the
an
way.
assigned number, like right, like I'm just like who like I want no other league. You don't see Brett Brown in here in full like shorts and a tank top out here, which would love to see, but still. But like I always thought if I was a soccer manager, because you have the full gauntlet available to you. You can show up in a
You
t-shirt.
can go anywhere. Yep.
Exactly. Full suit. So if I'm Jim Curtin, I'm down in Florida, I'm like, what Star Wars t-shirt am I wearing with jeans? Like that's the move I'm going the whole time.
You're going Star Wars.
I'm doing all the properties. I'm going Star Wars. There's gonna be a Marvel one day. You know, I'm gonna have an ESPN random shirt on. It's just gonna be great. I'm gonna have it. I'm branding the hell out of the whole thing.
And I'm the Disney nerd. Look at you knowing all the brands.
Look, man, I got Disney.
Just pass over that alumni card to Adam now.
I'm sorry. Did y'all not see the tattoo? Y'all saw the tattoo, right? I was just making sure. Okay, you know, this is a Star Wars family.
I'm Jim. I'm going seersucker shorts and like seersucker jacket. And that's it. With like the Crockett and Tubbs like fun like Miami Vice T-shirt underneath.
No, you're pretending Orlando's the real South. Like Orlando's not the South. Once you get past Jacksonville, you lose the South. It's just Florida after that point, you know.
Yeah, we got people we have people convinced we're not even in Orlando. We're just in some random
Buena Vista
place at this point.
You're not in Orlando. You're in your own little. It really is a bubble. Without being COVID, you're in a bubble. Yep. Trust me.
It's the Floridian Vatican
Nobody really
City.
knows where we are, but yeah, we're somewhere. They flew us somewhere. 2 hours somewhere, but
an undisclosed location in Central Florida.
Yep, exactly.
Now, speaking of the tournament and everything, you guys kind of shocked the MLS in the world with the players' jerseys, the tribute for the first game. Can you give us a little background insight? Because Jim said it was all your idea and you were at fault. And if the MLS wanted to find anyone, it was coming down on you.
Yeah. I think the quote was "action over permission." Was his line to the media, but no, it was definitely it was a team collective decision. Everyone at the club was involved, and it's just something the players really thought of and brought to me, and we just kept it as quiet as possible. But I obviously had all the right people sign off that we needed to. And I would say it brought the group closer together. Like I was listening to Ray last week when you guys had him on, and he said, like, we have 12 players from 12 different countries. So for each of those players to kind of be totally on board, and then we also educated ourselves too. We had Zoom calls with the players, and certain players told stories of what they've been through. And I know for myself at the beginning, when this was kind of brought to me, I was kind of like, okay, like I'm going to possibly get in some serious trouble here. But then you heard the stories of Warren and Ray and Mark and what they've gone through. And you're just like, okay, like it's a job. I'll be fine. No matter what happens. And then after that Zoom call, you're just like, okay, totally on board. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm here for you guys. I'll listen. I'll educate myself. And then I think that was kind of the sentiment for a lot of the staff and a lot of the players. We just Mark came up with the lists, and we just ran with it, and then pulled it off in front of kind of made sure the cameras were where we needed them to be, and shocked the world a little bit.
Were you up like all night or the morning of screening that stuff, or?
Yeah, so it was the day before.
Okay.
Because obviously we also had the MLS Unites patch too, which we kind of had to keep quiet. Mark came up with the saying, "One name too many." So that was I'm gonna throw Mark under the bus for that one, but no, it's true. And then there's some even more powerful ones too. Mark's in the second half. Am I next? With the question mark, you're just like, I know the first time I saw it, I kind of got chills. And I'll never understand what he goes through on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I'm just continuing to educate myself and keep an open mind on and try and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, and we've been saying that on the pod all the time, where it's amazing to us. We're all three different backgrounds, and it's just amazing that when we stop recording, we'll talk about stuff, and we're like, damn, it's just different. I think I said it last week, where it's like, you know, Brendan Aronson and Ray Gaddis driving home have two different experiences
Yeah,
leaving Chester, and it's just
exactly.
mind-boggling that this day and age it happens. So, yeah, we were really proud of you guys for pulling that off and
Yeah.
doing it, and it was, and like you said, even the messages on the jersey, been loving seeing that.
Yeah, Warren had arrested the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, and then Ray also. We wanted to make sure that the COVID victims were recognized as well. His grandmother unfortunately passed away from the virus, so he had a message to her, and then Kai had family members on there. So yeah, it wasn't just. I mean, we're in a bubble and things are not always great here, but then you take a step back and you just look back on what else is going on in the world right now, and you're really fortunate to just be able to work in a sport and just really kick a ball around for your living, and it's really not so bad. So when
Oh
when
yeah.
you look at the big picture.
Now you probably did the better job than me in doing a transition, because I wanted to get into a little life in the bubble. Normally, you've got a stadium and a practice facility and an equipment locker. What are your challenges being in a hotel room, and then, the wide world of sports at Disney, where you're sharing space with people where it's not conducive to share? Like, what are your challenges during this whole tournament?
Yeah, I'd say every day is definitely different. Being whatever time you practice, you're only allowed to really have a certain time slot at the field, and then you have a certain gym time, and then you have a certain pool time that you can use. So every day is kind of different. Whereas at home, you're in the same routine. For us, on the equipment side, it's the same routine 4 days a week usually, and then game days are fun. I'll put it that way. But every day here, like so last night, for example, we played at 8 o'clock. This morning we were back on the training field at 7:30 for a session. So you're getting in from the game last night. It's 11 o'clock or so. You're flipping that stuff. Guys are turning in gear at 11:30, and then picking up stuff this morning at 6 o'clock. So, and then you also have to get in your team meals and all that kind of stuff. So it's different. You just kind of adjust and be able to adapt as best as possible. And those are the teams that are going to be successful down here. The ones that just are able to change with the day-to-day things. But for the laundry standpoint, the hotel does everything. They have 2 pickups a day, 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. So we're really on a set time schedule, whereas in preseason and at home, it's kind of at your liberty. So
Now, like, how far are you away from the NBA players? Because that's really the biggest question we have here is like, how
yeah,
much
that's
separation?
really all you guys care about.
That's
Is
really
the
the only
NBA.
thing I'm
I can
caring
tell.
about here is how far are you from Matisse? How many meters from Matisse
Let me
from
tell
you?
the content Matisse is putting out right now is incredible.
My
I could
girlfriend
watch
is
that
paying
kid.
attention more to the Matisse Thibel content than me, the person, right now. She's just like, "Did you
It's
see
it's
episode
incredible.
3 of Matisse?" And I'm like, "Okay,
His yeah, he's got a good crowd following him. I'll put it that way.
here for it."
But I'm also following, so I
Right,
can't complain.
exactly.
No, I can look out my window and see the yacht club. I think there's teams staying there. And then when we're at Wide World of Sports, they're maybe 100, 200 feet away inside in their bubble or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, bubble.
Yeah, right.
Use quotes.
When I hear you're 200 feet away, I'm like, yes, bubble.
Yeah,
You say.
the
Liq-
MLS and NBA don't interact at all.
yeah.
So
Liquid hot
we
magma.
yeah, uh-huh. But no, they've
So,
yeah. I talk to the Sixers guy occasionally, and he's doing well, and they're adjusting to their life, and we get tested. Actually, just got back from testing about an hour ago, so that was my 10th time since we've been down here. So
What is the
I'm
test?
not.
Is it the antibodies? Is it the thing up the nose? What are we doing
No,
here?
it's the full thing up your nose.
Oof.
About four to five times a week. We did the antibodies right when we started. But yeah, haven't had that done again. So
So your sinuses have never been cleaner, is what you're basically telling me.
I can breathe. I've never had this experience. I broke my nose in high school. I haven't been able to breathe since. So I was like, all right, let's go further.
Every person
This
with a
is
deviated
incredible.
septum is just like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I need this. So what's a bigger challenge, you think? This, having the team ready staffed during this bubble, or when you have to fly commercial? What's the bigger pain in the ass?
Oh, flying commercial, no question. This is cake compared to that. Yeah. So, all right, I got a good story for you. I don't know how many people know this one, but we fly to Salt Lake 2015. I'll say it is. Entire bag of boots don't even show up for the trip. So just kind of scramble, get a couple pairs from the Salt Lake equipment guys, and then also go to the local soccer shop and get some pairs for the guys. Meet them at the stadium before our training session, and then one of the pairs was Fernando Aristeguieta. He ends up scoring 2 goals in them, and falls in love with this pair of boots. So, yeah, flying commercials it's not good, but it's just one of the challenges we have to deal with.
Oh man, that's great. That's the stuff we live to hear because you don't always hear that kind of stuff, and it's great. Now
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
wish that
about
was
the
the
NBA.
only case.
Oh yeah, well I'm sure that's an
There's
everyday.
there's been plenty of missing bags, but we survived.
Now we talked about the NBA. The NBA is famous because down there they've got the snitch line. Do you wish the MLS had a snitch line? And how many times would you be calling about Adam Kahn and all his shenanigans going on down there?
Yeah, we actually do have a snitch line too. I just got off the phone with them reporting Adam before I got on with you guys, so he should be joining you guys in Philly in a couple hours.
Right. He's like already at Orlando
We'll see you
International.
soon, Adam. And
He's at the
enjoy
gate at
Spirit
the
Airline,
airport
Adam.
right now.
I like
He's
to
flying middle commercial.
Right. I like to imagine it's the same scene from like the end of like the challenge on like MTV where like someone has to get into like an unmarked van and taken back to the airport with their bags. It's like, Adam, you're out. You gotta go. You gotta go home now.
Listen,
He's
you
got
are
a
the
sack
weakest
over
link.
his head.
Right? No, now you turn it into a kidnapping. That's even more fun. I'm excited about this now.
That'd be
Where
better.
is Adam going to end up now?
He's not in the bubble.
Right. Aw.
Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't wish that on anybody.
Oh no. So, you mentioned you talked to the guy at the Sixers, and this is I'm only asking for a friend, but do you know the equipment manager for the Philadelphia Fusion?
First off, the Fusion, the Fusion's equipment manager is obviously just the same dude who's also like 5th on the team right now because it's just like they're in their own bubble where they have their own house. I'm assuming they're doing their own laundry. If I'm real with you, these guys got 2 jerseys. Like there's not a collection.
That was the best part of when we were training at home. The guys had to take all their laundry home, so I was like, I'm done at 12 o'clock every day. This is amazing. I had to relearn how to do laundry when we got down here, so it was good.
I honestly, so in your opinion, knowing the game the way that you do, who has the most difficult equipment job in the city?
Good question. I would say the Flyers guys or the Eagles. Baseball is what it is. You're kind of just hanging out in the clubhouse all day. Not to say they don't work hard at all. They're there constantly. They're in at 6 a.m. and they don't leave till, I don't know. They might just sleep there. NBA is not too hard. Like I said, pretty friendly with him, and they do workout loops. So I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it's pretty easy. You just hang everything on a loop and throw it in the wash. But yeah, sharpening the skates and getting all that stuff ready, and those guys are just a different animal. Hockey players too. I don't know if I would want to deal with them. Different than soccer players for sure, but
it's a little different.
And then football. The football is tough too. You got to be qualified in all the helmet procedures and the pads. So, and then you have soccer. It's just shin guards, some socks, and let's go play a game.
The boots, man.
What?
The boots are important.
The boots. Yeah.
The boots.
What,
Can't forget those, right?
What happens if you run out of, like, say, tape or something in the bubble? Can you send somebody to Rite Aid or to Home Depot
Yeah.
or like what?
So they have a ship center, so you can basically get Amazon packages and whatever shipped down here. So that's my special request for Jim that we have him wearing on Saturday. Another shameless plug there to make sure you guys tune in. But no, you can't send anybody to Amazon. You can get Uber Eats and that kind of stuff delivered, so you can do Instacart and that. I actually ordered super glue and hangers. Exciting stuff right there. So, no, you can't. Nobody can go though. There's security at every entrance, every exit. They got bike racks up, security guard at each place you can get in, get out. So, security's pretty tight.
Super glue and hangers.
Now
just
we know why
reminded
Sergio
me-
cut his hair. He probably violated security and figured he
It was
disguised
actually him I
himself.
needed the super glue for.
Exactly. No, I was saying like super glue and hammers just sounded like the beginning of any Keenan and Kel episode from back in the '90s, where it's just like, I need you to grab some soccer cleats, some super glue, and some hangers, and meet me in the bubble.
Don't forget the orange soda.
Exactly.
Devin,
one of
we
my
got a
favorite
little Union MLS news, don't we?
Oh, we got news. All right.
So apparently the team did a little thing last night and got out of the pool, which is good. A tie against Orlando's not what everybody was hoping for, but Brandon, what were your thoughts? Because you were there live and you saw some of the calls that we keep thinking that MLS has got this VAR thing that maybe should have happened. I don't know.
I don't want to say too much on here, but I'd say it's probably a handball. If we're all talking about the same call here, but
No, we're not talking about the same call. We all we're talking about separate things. What call are you speaking of? I have no idea.
I don't know
the
what you're
thing is,
talking
there was
about.
enough calls that were bad to go around for all of us to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
Over like the
but we
course of
won't go
several
there.
games too. Like we have like several actual games worth of footage where we're just like, well, that was also terrible.
And it's
I gotta
with
watch
Devin. I don't know if you saw, but
You're good.
we and just to bail Brandon out of being critical, which he was not of the MLS or the pro refs.
Absolutely not. He's
Devin,
very
did you
respectful.
Did you see Jim Curtin's fake quote of the week?
You mean Jim Curtin's quote? You can't
Well, no,
call
this
it a
is
fake
the
quote.
Jim Curtin fake quote of the week. Yeah, but
what Devin's
apparently-
trying to explain to you, Matt, is if you call it the Jim Curtin fake quote of the week, it turns off the mystique of the quote. Unless you say, like, we will figure out it's fake, how bad it is. So we'll be
Okay,
like,
well,
obviously, Jim. Yeah.
This
Not trying
was
to tell you
Jim
how to
last
do your
night.
bit.
Let me dust this off for. Thanks for introducing my bit. But when asked about Orlando, he says Orlando's a dirty team. I don't mean the cheap shots they put on Aronson and Bedoya. I mean they stink like BO. Is all Central Florida that smell like hulky, stinky nuts? Damn, people, they have showers in the Swan and Dolphin. Use that free soap. And that was Jim Curtin's quote after the game.
Why did he sound like Union Hulk halfway through that, though?
Well, he asked.
wonder.
He
I think we're
referenced
starting
Union
to
Hulk. He likes
uncover
quote
that
Union
Matt's
Hulk.
Union Hulk. I think
I
we're finally
think
starting to peel that
the
back.
I don't
stained
have the
glass
time.
windows. I think the stained glass windows are about to be smashed. But anyway, we're here for it. Look, Brandon, you're here for
I
news
channeled
upon
two
news.
people during the Jim Curtin quotes, and one of them's Union Hulk.
It was a good one.
I liked it.
Yeah, someday Jim's going to find out about his fake quotes, and he's going to like whoop my ass. But
He was
It's all
going to be
worth
like,
it.
I was on
Who
your
says he
pod
doesn't
for
know
this.
By the way, that was probably my favorite episode when you guys had Jim on here. That was he's an easy one to talk to.
Look, I want to keep saying we gave him the bump. He comes on here, then he gets on the Cooligans. He just becomes the MLS manager, and I'm just like, man, just remember the little people.
Where you guys started, right?
Remember your roots, my bro. Remember your roots.
oh man, so all right, I've got one last big question for you. I just labeled it under story time, but has there ever been a player that you just wanted to put like itching powder or anything in their shorts, or just and you don't have to name names. We'll name it when you get off. But has
Just
there
name
been any
numbers.
player that you're like, oh God, I hope you get
I
traded
think
tomorrow?
Yeah, my internet connection's going bad all of a sudden again.
Right. The wild world of sport. It's what?
Yeah.
Mango.
So there's been some players that you're like, this is when they got traded. You're like, I'll drive you to the airport.
Yeah. No, definitely not. Yeah.
Look, man, I don't know what you felt about Zach Pfeffer, but he deserved better from you than that, my friend.
I actually ran into him in the city one night, not too long ago. But
it's actually fun to me to think that he's like an old enough a person to be out and about now after just remembering him as a youth. Just being like, remember you were like 15? Just like, yeah, no, I'm a grown-ass man now.
And
he manages people's finances now.
Yeah. We've been pretty lucky. There haven't been many, and I definitely won't name names, but Joe Bendix definitely one. I'd love to put some itching powder in his sliders. He's my neighbor right now, so if I knock on his door,
I can hear him already banging on your wall.
Probably one of the most uncomfortable moments I ever had as the president of Sons of Ben, where we were at a practice just talking to some players, Ryan Bross and I, and Joe Bendix there. And we've done so many TIFOs about the Bendick face, and we actually had it on the beer trailer. And then he's just like, hey, guys. And we're like, oh, crap. He was super nice to us, super cool. But I'm like, man, we have tortured you for like years upon years. And for him to just be like, hey, guys, love those TIFOs. It's, I was sweating bullets.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Like, you heard stories of him around the league before, and you're like, equipment guys talk, obviously, and you're just like, oh, Joe's kind of he likes what he likes. He's a veteran goalkeeper, and we already know goalies are a little different than field players. So when we traded for him, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. But honestly, he's become one of the veteran leaders, and if guys are kind of slacking off, he'll call him out on it. So he's been a really good locker room presence for us. So. But I'd still love to put itching powder just to see what he would do.
Now, since you've had,
I think you should.
Now you say goalies are a different beast, and like it's not, not knowledge that the Union have gone through a nice little carousel of goalkeepers, especially since you've been here. So it's just like, who was the one keeper that you've interacted with that you were just like, that's a bit much? Like this guy's a little bit too much even for my blood with this,
You're saying just with goalies?
Yeah, just with goalies. Like we've had such like an eclectic group of goalies come through here. I'm sure you're just like, well, he was interesting.
Yeah, I know who you're trying to get me to say, so I'm not going to say him.
I actually was going to say Brian Silvestri, but that's just me. I loved Brian Silvestri, so.
Yeah, he was good. Honestly, the first one that comes to mind, the first day, he's actually an assistant with us now. Oka Nikolov came in.
Nice.
He tries on his gear, and it's like not fitting him right and whatever. And I'm like, oh, God, he's going to be awful to deal with. And then me and him are probably some of the closest friends now that I have on the team. So you just kind of build a relationship over a couple years. But right off the bat, that would be one like experience. I'm like, okay, dude, like I get you playing in the Bundesliga for 20 years, but you're at the Philadelphia Union now. Like, okay, like figure it out. Like we're a world-class organization. But no, he's that's the only like real goalkeeper story that I've got good that I want to share.
I mean, I was hoping
I think we need to get more. We need more beers on this pod, and we're going to get better stories. When this is,
I agree.
Round 2 is going to be real interesting.
Well, no, I was just
when we're not.
I was just hoping for a McCarthy story where you're just like, he had me wash 5 helmets, and it was just I didn't know where all of these came from.
Yeah, I freaked out on the way to the Open Cup final. I thought I forgot his helmet. Had to buy the Wi-Fi on the airplane to message back home to see if it was left at the training center, but ended up having it.
Oh man, that's actually a really cool story. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I would have made that kid carry his own helmet.
He was high maintenance. Oh my God, I completely forgot about John McCarthy when you brought up the question. But yeah, I saw him down there the other day. I'm like, I'm glad he's your problem now. Nah, John's one of my good. He's still one of my good buddies. Unfortunately, he still texts me all the time looking for shoes and cleats and stuff. So
Did I leave these
Can't get rid
here?
can't get rid of. Do you know anybody that wants to rent my apartment in Philly, John? No, I don't.
See, Matt was
Can you
assuming.
check my ring camera?
Right.
Yeah.
Matt,
Oh my God.
Matt was assuming the high maintenance one was Matt Freeze just because he's from Wayne.
And he kind of went to Harvard for.
He kind of went to
coffee.
Harvard.
Nah,
Kinda,
no,
yeah.
all our goals.
And he kind of lost to Adam and I in a trivia contest that was on local cable TV. So
doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised you can find the equipment room most days.
that's why he's Lori Loughlin's kid, but that's my personal joke.
We're gonna get
Devin,
sued.
this is getting to be a
man.
train wreck again. I see that look on your face. So we've
good.
got some other news. So we've just got. Do we have any updates from the Premier League? Have they been doing anything, Devin? That Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, that's right. Chelsea
Hey, they've been playing pretty good.
beat
Huh?
Man U, and they're in the FA Cup final. Yeah, we got some Premier League news that everybody
man.
can get on board.
Okay,
Now,
so here's the
Blue
thing.
is the color.
Football is the game.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad when I have to root for Chelsea to beat Arsenal so that we can get a spot in the Europa League.
And winning is our aim.
Who else is a Chelsea fan on here? I can feel some love. Yeah, no. That's what I'm
We're
talking about.
taking the pod over there to interview Pulisic at some point. That's the goal. That's the whole end game.
Instead
of
of the
this
beers, when I come back, you just bring me over across the pond, and we'll go over there.
Sounds good.
But Devin, you
Devin, do we have
avoided.
any?
I was gonna say, Devin,
go ahead,
you
sorry.
avoided St. Tottingham's Day, though. You got that out of the system since Arsenal lost to Aston Villa today for reasons only God
Yep.
knows, and you got that out for the fourth year in a row. You do not have a holiday declared to the ineptitude of your club. It's so fun.
Well, they do enough of ineptitude on their own, but hey, we've been playing pretty decent. We got a few wins here, and we'll go with that.
Look, man.
And in other news, Adam, Amazon is going to do a documentary on Chelsea. It's going to be called Winning.
It's going to be called actually going to tournaments that matter. It's a Tottenham documentary. So the stadium's nice.
We
And
have a Wahlburgers and a Chick-fil-A.
right, occasionally football plays here, and yeah. So Son went to be a year. Son did military this year. Like, is Son going to Korea, going home to do military service, the highlight of your season?
That's got to be right. It's got to be
It feels that way.
at this point.
It's pretty much at the top.
Man. Devin, do we have any other news before I leak what next week's episode is going to be?
I don't think I got anything.
All right. Well, next week, everybody, please tune in. It's going to be pretty interesting. We're just going to call this Rookies and Retirees. So we're actually going to have a brand new signing for the Philadelphia Union and a recent retiree of the Union. So next week should be pretty interesting. And we'll be talking everything about that Saturday night. I'm going to say it's a W. What about you, Adam?
I'm going to say it's a W because I already yelled at Ray Gaddis to win me something shiny, and my demands will be met. So there you go.
And Devin's going to say it's an L because he's pessimistic, and
No.
Brandon's going to give us the insider scoop.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a win, guys. We're gonna keep this thing rolling.
Brandon's
down
like, it's actually already been decided by ESPN and Disney who wins the tournament, so we're screwed, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Or it's been
Again, internet
decided by the
connection.
ref.
Brandon doesn't want to go home because then he's got to do laundry again. He's got the Marriott people
Yeah,
doing his
look.
laundry.
Look, Brandon,
I just love you.
Brandon, just blink twice if you thought that all of those rivalries somehow ending up in the group stage were just, coincidences.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, yeah, we're going to have El Trafico. Oh, yeah, we're also going to have Atlanta versus New York. Yeah, we're going to have all of these matchups. Miami's going to play Orlando. These were all by accident.
So before Brandon gets fired from the MLS, what I'm going to do is say, thank you so much for coming on, man. We know you've got a team dinner. Tell everybody we said hi, and then we're rooting everybody on, and we're watching like Real Salt Lake versus God knows who. That's how involved we are in this tournament. So just tell everyone we said congrats, and we're proud of you, and we want something shiny.
Yeah, so do we. We'll keep pushing and try and bring that first trophy home to you guys, and can't wait to see you guys when we get back in Philly and cheering us on at Subaru Park again.
Yeah, can't wait. And thanks again, and we're looking forward to Sergio's next haircut.
What can he even do now?
He's got to grow out again first.
All right, everybody. I think that's it for episode 28, the Ray Gaddis edition. So, Brandon, again, thanks so much. And everybody, wash your hands.
Sexy season. For the Fusion!
33 seconds.
Roughly. Guys, what's up? What's back? Hi! It's been a minute since we talked about your Philadelphia Fusion, and we're not really actually going to talk about them again this week because they didn't play. So, in a cruel twist of fate, after the Summer Showdown, we had a week off, and then the Fusion had another bye week. So, your boy, in his infinite boredom after watching the 9 a.m. games of the MLS, decided to throw on the midday Overwatch action, and let me tell you that it is maddeningly frustrating how the Fusion keep losing to teams that are not good. Okay, so look, I thought the Paris Eternal winning in the final would set them off, would make them into an elite squad, similar to what I thought was going to happen to the Florida Mayhem after they beat the Fusion in the May Melee. And you know what they both have done? Shown mediocrity since that moment. And it just infuriates me because what's going to happen? A classic Fusion moment's going to happen where they're going to win the next 6 bleeping matches. They're just going to scorch earth all the way into the grand final. There's still going to be a 2 seed going into the sucker. And then what's going to happen is they're going to get tripped up by some hoodlums like the Gungzu Charge or the Chengdu Hunters or something like that. And it's just going to send me to another place. It's going to be awful.
Where
Both
the
of
hell
those
is
teams are real mad.
Gungzu?
Dude, man, just look a map up. Just one. It's like, just come on now. These are very large cities. These cities have millions of people.
How good
in
is
them. I
their
just wanna
internet
throw
over
that out
there? Come on. We should.
Amazing! So much better than America's? Like, what are you kidding me? They're playing Overwatch right now with 200 ping and still doing it at a high level. 200 ping is very high. It means your server sucks, Matt. That's my boomer talk for you.
Well, all I got to say is that's blame Comcast then, you know?
They are the official provider of the Overwatch League. But you look, man. So I think what's happening, we have a really cool matchup this weekend. The Fusion have 2 games. They got one on Saturday night, and they got the nightcap because they're playing against the Los Angeles Gladiators. So they got the nightcap, which is going to be, I think, a estimated 8-9 o'clock kickoff. If you will. Yeah.
Saturday,
shoot off,
Saturday,
if you
the
will.
25th?
This Saturday night. Yeah.
We got plans, Adam. We got big plans. We got other plans.
We do. But what's also happening, Matt, because they know that you are going to be busy that night, is you can watch the replay on YouTube at any time because it's on demand, like all Fusion matches are. But secondly, what's actually also important is they're playing the very next day for a lovely Sunday matinee. That's right. So the Fusion will be back in action. And Matt, I actually even sent you the list of all of these matchups. So you will have these in your back pocket. Take that thing home with you. But yes, we have the LA Gladiators coming in 9 p.m. estimated. But if I'm real with you, these games usually happen earlier than that. So I'd say check in around 8 o'clock and see what the matchup is. If it's like 2-0, you might want to stick around. Then you have the Toronto Defiant. So the Fusion take on the 6, if you will, 5 p.m. on a May matinee. And then another Beat Dallas moment coming up next week on July 31st when they get a 3 p.m.er against the Dallas Fuel. And then taking on the other Beat LA, the LA Valiant, on August 2nd. All of these matchups are very winnable for the Fusion. Should be dominating performances and should solidify where they're going to be in the direction towards the grand final. Devin, your thoughts?
I agree. That's all I got. No, I'm excited that they're finally playing again because it's been a while. It's been a minute, so it's gonna be exciting to get them back, get them rolling. Hopefully they don't do the Union thing and play horribly after a break. But you know,
they tend to. The irony is, especially after losses, like the Fusion after losses are dominating forces. The problem is their losses are usually in the most like awful positions. They're usually in semifinals or finals or like matches that actually matters, the one they always lose, but they'll beat Vancouver 3-0 in 26 minutes because they're just bored that day, you know? It's the frustratingness of having a quintessential Philadelphia team, because we're a city that's used to not really having scrubs all the time. Like, yeah, the Union started off being terrible, but now we actually have expectations with them. Like, all the teams in the city have weird expectations to not be terrible, and the Fusion are just like that, but they still, the time comes, man, we're just dropping the ball, man. It's a little disappointing, but I have hope for the future.
So my take is Saturday, not even going to pay attention because we got bigger fish to fry. Sunday
That's
sounds
fair.
like Meek Mill versus Drake, so I think I want to watch that. And then I completely
is?
ignored the rest of it. So it looks
I
like
would like
Sunday,
to say-
Sunday, 3 days only.
Well, look, man, and the thing I always like to play off of is the classic Philadelphia rivalry. So if you were not if you don't get up for Fusion Paris, I get that, you know. We don't have too many of those in real life, you know. But you know, Philadelphia Dallas should get the blood moving a little bit, you know. Philadelphia LA should definitely have you feeling type of way. And for my Sixer fans, as well as, you know, even my Phillies fans, if we're gonna go way back with that Joe Carter, you feel a certain way about Toronto, man. You feel a certain way about that city, especially right now. So you want, if your Overwatch team, which by all accounts is one of the most dominating teams in North American, you know, esports, you want it to rack up the W's against people who will be rooting for the other teams that you wish your other teams would rack up W's against, you know?
Do you let Mitch Williams ring the bell before the Fusion Toronto game?
No, I only let people who beat Toronto, so I'm going to get Speedy Claxton from the 2001 76ers when they beat them in the conference semis. Yeah, that one.
Good to know.
Or Jeremy, no, not Jeremy Roenick. I thought about Jeremy Roenick, but he's kind of problematic right now. No,
He
Jeremy
might sue you for being straight, you know?
Roenick. God, man, just never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes. That's just such a disappointing human as Jeremy Roenick. Can I get Simone Gagne? He hasn't done a thing. Let's go get him.
yeah, let's get Gagne.
Adam,
Totally down.
this was an electric 33 seconds.
Look, man, there wasn't a lot of content. I didn't have the same fire. I apologize, but I hope I previewed the weekend matchups. And look, ultimately, you don't have to watch these matches when they happen. You know, you're not going to get an ESPN alert if the Fusion won or not. So just hop on your freaking YouTube when you got an hour to burn. Watch the Fusion, man. Watch them take down some teams. And they have some of the best banter commentary in sports right now.
I'm tuning into the
Overwatch
Meek
League
Mill
has.
versus Drake on Sunday from the Marina.
Dude, and that's a game that the Fusion should really dominate, honestly, against Toronto. Toronto's not that good of a team. They haven't shown themselves to be good of a team. That should be a game where that could even give you a chip sighting. That's how much I believe in the Union or the Fusion there. A Chips sighting could even show up, because that's the ultimate disrespect. If Chips is in the game, the Fusion don't respect you in any capacity whatsoever.
Malt Vinegar, you're bringing the heat again, man. Thank you for the Fusion Minute.
I'm always here for the club, my friend. Here for the club.